Okay, on the grid below, AB and CD are perpendicular lines, as are PQ and ST. Alright, so just remembering that perpendicular lines mean that they are lines that meet at a right angle. Alright, so that's what perpendicular lines are. And this sentence here, this sentence here just means, it's using mathematical symbols. So it says, therefore, AB, this symbol here means perpendicular, so AB is perpendicular to CD, and PQ is perpendicular to ST. Alright, let M1 and M2 be the gradients of AB and CD respectively. Let M3 and M4 be the gradients of PQ and ST respectively. So part 5, what we need to do is calculate M1 and M2. So M1, remember, is the gradient for line AB. So if we look at the line AB, we have a rise of 2 and a run of 4. So our gradient there is 2 over 4, which simplifies to 1 over 2. Okay, our gradient for M2, if we look at M2, remember, is CD. So if we look at the points CD and the line that they're on, then we have a rise of 2 and a run of 1. So M2 has a gradient of 2 over 1. Now, one thing that I've forgotten, on AB here, because the line was sloping down, what I should have had is a negative rise. So it should have been negative. Alright, so my gradient is negative 1 over 2. Alright, that's question 5. Question 6 then says, what is the value of M1 multiplied by M2? So M1 multiplied by M2 will equal negative 1/2 multiplied by 2 on 1. When I do that, I get negative 2. Remember, you multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. So negative 2 on 2, and that equals negative 1 when I simplify it. Alright, on to question 7. Question 7 wants us to calculate M3 and M4. So M3 is for the line PQ. So if I look at the line PQ, I've got a rise of 2 and a run of 7. So my gradient for M3 is 2 over 7. Alright, my gradient M4, if I look at the line ST, I have a rise of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But remember, it's sloping down, so negative 7, and a run of 2. So negative 7 over 2. Okay, on to part 8. Part 8, what is the value of M3 multiplied by M4? So M3 multiplied by M4. M3 was 2 over 7. M4 was negative 7 over 2. And so when I multiply the tops, I get negative 14. Multiply the bottoms, 14. And that simplifies to negative 1. Okay, what can you conclude about the gradients of perpendicular lines? Alright, let's just look back at question 6 here, where we multiplied M1 and M2, and the answer that we got. And also question 8, where we multiplied the gradients and the answer that we got. So this one's probably not as obvious as the parallel lines, but perpendicular lines, when we multiply their gradients, so gradient 1 times the gradient 2 of our two lines, they should always multiply to give us an answer of negative 1. Alright, so perpendicular lines, when you multiply their gradients, your answer should be negative 1.